Thank you for stopping by the channel. My name is Joey, aka Coder Dyslexic, and we are live on Twitch. So if you're at YouTube watching this, don't forget to go live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Oh, I screwed that one up. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, starting at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And today we're going to be going over our relationships and layouts 1, 2, and 3. And then we're also going to be doing our specificity work for 100 devs. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to hit that like. Don't forget to hit that sub. And then come join me here on Twitch live. Like I said, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hit that follow button on Twitch. Hit that bell notification so you know when I go live also. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive down into it. Having a little bit of bitrate issues today. Why? I don't know. But we'll see what it's all about. I know why. I think I changed over my bitrate of what I was doing before. Trying to push it up a little bit. Watched a video saying that we could get a little bit more bitrate out of our streams without Twitch kind of freaking out. So I wanted to see if my internet could do it, which everything on Twitch, everything on OBS is saying it's looking good. But the bitrate over here on Twitch, at least the main panel over here is kind of like, yeah, red line. So I don't know what's going on with that, but we don't really need to worry about it too much. Don't really need to worry about it too much. So yeah, we're going to be going into our relationships, our specificity, and our layouts 1, 2, and 3 with our CSS. I am going to do a kind of like a follow-up from last week on Wednesday. I missed Friday's stream. Sorry about that. I decided to take some time for the family. And I also decided to not edit videos as much. Probably not at all. Probably just going to do the live VOD and post it on YouTube, no matter how long it is. Just for the fact that I've been doing editing on Saturdays. And I've been trying to take off Saturdays and Sundays. And just spend that with my family. So that's what I've been doing. But a follow-up from Class 4. We'll go ahead and jump into that real quick. Is we figured out the our border. So if you were here last Wednesday, my last time I streamed last week, we were having troubles getting this border to drop down, but we were able to do it because we went ahead and watched our Class 6, and it's going into what we're doing, or no, Class 5, which we're going into more of borders, the padding, and everything like this. So this is the box model, which later on in the 100 devs we will change around. So, but we're here, we're moving around, we got it to work. We went ahead and did padding. This was our issue that we needed, is to use our padding, essentially, and get this box to come down. So the padding bottom was our big thing that we needed. Just drop it down. And then we went ahead and added some padding to our right to stretch out that box a little bit to get past the animated Leon sticker, essentially. So at least we got that done. The only thing about me not editing the videos, I'm going to be vaping in our YouTube videos now, instead of me trying to edit all that out. What's going on, too? Site looks great so far. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I did good on it. Like I said, last week, I was having a little bit of trouble with our border here. But I watched the next class, and he kind of went over it. He kind of said, hey, there's stuff you're going to have to look up. And that border was just one of those things that I couldn't figure out for some odd reason. But We got it now. So let's go ahead and shut down all of our stuff here. We're going to go ahead and go into a different class material. Let's see here. Best way to shut down all this stuff here. Don't want to delete it. I don't want to have way too many things open. There we go. Close folder. Let's go ahead and open up the next one that we're going to be getting into. Jump around our file system. Going in class 5. I do believe we did basic CSS 2 already. I did that kind of off stream. And I think layouts is class 6. I don't know why. I kind of get ahead of myself sometimes. So this is relationships 2, specificity. And what it is he has his zip files and puts work inside of the zip files that is for class 6, I think. We can actually look that up real quick. Jump over here to his channel. Let's see which one we are actually on. And if we have time, we're still just going to go ahead and run through it. Let's go ahead and get our sound going to our streaming PC. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. Yeah, so I kind of started 6, so we are on 5. Learning to say CSS layout, so that's good. But let's go ahead and so we are going to be looking at these two guys right here and seeing what he wants us to do. So obviously here's our HTML that he's getting us to run through. And this is what he's wanting us to do. So please make only world and zebra blue. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and close this down. What I want to do is go ahead and open this as a live. Okay, so there we go. You can see it now. So let's go ahead and make world and zebra blue. So those are both H2s. Okay, let's read over. Please make only zebra purple. Okay, so there is no more zebras. So he wants it blue, then he wants us to change it to purple. And then I know he went over this during class. But so you please make Huff and Puff gold, and please keep Huff and Puff gold and make only unicorn gray. So let's see if we can do this. So first thing we need is we can go ahead and do our H2 and make that blue. Oh, need to do color first. And we can go to blue. Alright, so that's going to be blue. Go ahead and save it. And we went ahead and made a whole bunch of stuff. We needed to do sections, shouldn't we? We did everything blue. So we're going to have to fix that. Go ahead and type in section. Do a space there, save that. And we're going to go ahead and so there's another section with H2s. That's going to be that. So how do we do it where it's going to be just our H2s? Let's go ahead and try this guy, Carrot. There we go. Because those H2s are the direct of a section. And these, okay, so this is going to be the direct parent of the children, which is our H2s over here. And we need to go ahead and move on to our next spot because we were having these guys turn blue too. So, now we want only zebra to turn purple. So, we got to get specific. So let's go ahead and go section. And H2. Plus H2. Go ahead and see how that turns out. So color. No, not columns. And he wants that to be purple. Alright. Save. Now we got Huff and Puff. So. Let's go ahead and add our carrot into this. And there we go. So we're going to direct H2 of this section plus going down one. But obviously we have more selectors. I do believe correctly. It's more selectors that you have, better off you are. So this is like 1, 2, 3 points. 3 points. This is 2 points. And that's how you kind of override what we have up here. Let's see, please only make Huff and Puff gold. Alright, so we're looking at Huff and Puff. So it is in a section, inside of an article, inside of an H2. And make Huff and Puff gold and make only unicorn gray. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the article, right? So we're going to go ahead and article. And we want H2 plus H2. And see, we want color gold. Alright, let's go ahead and save that. Alright, Huff and Puff is gold now. So, obviously we have 1, 2, 3 selectors here. We're going to need to go ahead and make keep Huff and Puff gold, but make unicorn gray. And I guess duck doesn't have anything to do with anything. So, let's go ahead and do a section. So, not a switch. Section. Article. And then we're going to go ahead and do no, we want the direct. So let's go ahead and do the carrot symbol and then hit H2. Let's see how that works out. And we want that to be gray. No, we switched it around. Why is that? So, So we got a direct. Maybe it needs to do +2? No, because the Huff and Puff is below that H2. So we got 3 still. Go ahead and do this. Oh, can we do the direct? And direct? Nope. There's no space here, so let's see if that's the reason. Nope. I don't think doing the plus is going to work. But it might. But Unicorn is... Huff and Puff is still gray, so we can't do that. Both gray. Alright, so let's see what we're doing here. So we got section, we got article. Section, article. I can just go bang important, right? But I don't think that's exactly what he's wanting us to do. I can just throw out bang importance all day, right? Hey, if you guys would let me know, my bitrate on Twitch still says I'm in the red instead of being green. But I'm green OBS, so I don't know. It might not just like the bitrate I'm at. But hey, why not? Alright. So, obviously, I'm not overriding. That guy. We can't do H2, H2. Well, I appreciate that. 2. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I think so Twitch supposedly only allows you to do 6,000 bitrate, but they said you could actually push it to 8,000 and don't go any farther than that. And it just gives you your video a little bit better of a stream, and they won't mess with you. So that's what I'm thinking it is, because everything looks good over here. Normally, if Twitch is red for me, the bitrate, my OBS says it's red, but OBS is green. So yeah, I appreciate that. Looking into that for me, making sure everything looks good. Alright, so we got 3 points, so we need 4. So if I do plus H2, it would give me that 4th, but it would be targeting Puff and Puff, right? And we only want unicorn. So we got section, article. And it should be a direct. A direct H2 should override that, I figured, since it's the direct of the article. But it is not doing that. Now, of course, we could always go back and look at his video, but let's give it a good, what he calls 100 devs try. Unless I do... So it's... Let's do this. So that section, the article section, is inside of a body. So this will give us... This will give us 4. body section article, save, and let's go ahead and do our caret. Should be doing it live for me, and we're still there, but we are. Okay, so there's body section article. Make sure there's no articles. There's an article here, but it is not inside of a section. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's only 1, 2, 3. And obviously that section is not the direct of this section. I mean, that body, the section isn't a direct kid to the body, so I can't use a direct for that. So where are we going wrong? Let's figure this out now. Alright, my guy. Teach me with something of all your wisdom. All I know is the people that keep going in here and going into his comments and actually putting the channel markers is a lifesaver. Okay, so those are specificity. See, relationships. Selector selects let's code. I think this is where you are.
Let's code some relationships. Let's code some relationships. Relationship CSS2 folder. Cool. All right, let me bring up the timer here. We're going to do 4 minutes on this one.
Pass up your timer here. Let's get to the good parts, Leon. All right.
Goal. Let's see.
Let's go ahead and
did I change anything in my HTML?
How did you do that one right above? Let's see that.
Of the section. Right? Why doesn't H2 plus H2 make them both purple? Because this is saying the direct siblings.
Yeah, dude, I absolutely appreciate it. Is that you that made them on this one? It is you. Holy crap. Hey, man. Thank you very, very much. I'm in class 5 and I use these all the time. Now, I don't know if it's just because I'm a full-time job working early in the morning. And what I do is I try to start class because I'm a driver, so I have to go wait for another guy to meet me. And I normally have 30 minutes to an hour. So I start this video once I get to my location and waiting for him to revive me. No, him to show up to give me my order that I have. I sit there and watch his videos. So I go through this because this class is awesome, but some of the stuff, it's like, okay, let's get to the learning part a little bit. I'm trying to fit learning, work, family, in a combined area. So, dude, this is absolutely helpful, and thank you. I might be new to the 100 devs, but I promise you, a lot of your 100 devs, alumni and new people, really, really appreciate this a lot.
It means it has to have another sibling.
So definitely give yourself a pat on the back for that.
And look, does world have another sibling that comes before it? No. This world doesn't have another H2. If there's an H2 up here, then yes. Right?
But I need to see where he...
Cool.
What he decided to do for...
Type of any child.
The article H2 plus H2.
It's any sibling. But we're gonna skip that for now because I don't want people to get too confused. take a look at the next one.
All right, so he did a direct.
Gold.
No, this is
How can you make
this one. So I did that.
Gold. So here's unicorn. Here's Hufflepuff. How do I target just Hufflepuff? Ah, so it's kind of the same pattern again, right? Like if we just did H2s, it could target both unicorn and Hufflepuff. So if I do H2 plus H2 inside of an article, inside of a section, that'll differentiate it from the other ones, right? Or we could just do inside of article too, right? And so, oh, we can't just do inside of article. Well, we could maybe because we have one down here, but let's think about it. We could do H2 plus H2 inside of article, and I think we got it. So let's try it.
H2 plus H2 inside of an article. So that's what we did, right? Article H2
So
plus
article,
H2.
Then we do H2 plus H2. And we're going to go ahead and make it gold. Right? So the idea here being that we're saying, all right, give me the H2.
And yeah, I know I could skip a little bit ahead. I kind of wanted to see his
child of an article.
All
right, let's try that. Let's see if that.
I guess his train of thought doing everything.
Turn gold. Let's see. Did I change anything in my HTML? All right, let's see. All right, yeah, only Hufflepuff turn gold. Nice. Now, could we have done more? Right? Could we have done more?
And my dyslexia messes me up. That's the reason why I call you two too. But
could have added more.
Rascal 2.
Oh, you don't want to add more than you need.
Man, that must take you a long time to go through his videos and watch all that.
Is for like making sure that
putting all that in there.
What's happening? But a lot of times white space really just doesn't matter that much. Cool.
It's 1, 2, 3.
We're going to go
4.
full bore to see if we can add as much specificity as possible.
And I'm not looking forward to the next part.
All right. Keep Hufflepuff gold and make only unicorn gray. All right. Keep Hufflepuff gold and make only unicorn gray. So let's go back and look at unicorn. Unicorn is this H2. Right? Is this H2? How can I make unicorn gray but keep Hufflepuff gold?
Well, if you have more specificity, more points, which I thought we did.
Let's see if we can make can we get unicorn gray first? All right, let's try it. If we do article H2 and we make it color gray. All right, let's see what that does to unicorn and Hufflepuff. We go back.
But I was going to say H2 isn't a direct.
Refresh. All right, unicorn is gray. Hufflepuff stayed gold, but Duck also turned gray.
But it's not a direct. Hufflepuff is a direct.
Let's take a look at that.
Okay.
Can I get a little bit more specific, maybe? What happens if I get a little bit more specific, though? Well, let's talk before we get more specific. Why didn't Hufflepuff turn gray? Unicorn turned gray, but why didn't Hufflepuff? Yeah, it has less specificity. If we look at this rule,
I'm absolutely surprised I can say specificity. Specificity. Until I started thinking about it. I guess I'm butchering it now.
How many points?
3.
Has 3 points specificity, exactly. And then how many points did this have?
2.
It had 2. So there's no way for stuff that gets applied.
And I know I'm saying stuff that
overwritten by stuff that applies.
Doesn't need to be said, but I'm learning at the same time I'm doing this. So I'm kind of
gold, right? There's 3 points of
I'm being interactive with the class.
Second H2. When we target all the H2s, it's enough to turn unicorn to gray, right? But it's not enough
Let me stop
to
so I
also turn.
Okay, you're okay with whatever I want to call you. Sorry about that. Like that's the whole point of the dyslexia. It sucks sometimes. I know it was tedious the first time, but after that I started working and eventually finished my scripting mini browser extension that allows me to use a keyboard shortcut to open a dialog for me to enter the marker title while the stream is going live. Then they're all saved for me, and I've left to is adjust them to the exact second of the marker. Hey, that's awesome. Now, did you create that? Did you program that yourself, or was it something that you found already? Because that's pretty neat. Especially that you're making it live to all its classes too. Which I try to make it live, but I really hardly ever do because it's really funny. So so I start work at 3 o'clock in the morning. I come home, I take a nap, and then Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays I'm going to stream. This is when I do all my homework and stuff like that. I try to do all the homework, trying to make a video presence and networking by going live and reposting all this stuff on YouTube. So a potential employer knows kind of where I'm at in my coding skills. And then plus, it's networking. You know, we met each other. It's great. You're definitely a big part of the community just by what you're doing for us, even if you're not active. I'm not active in the community because of my dyslexia. Yeah, I made it myself. Any script like that already exists, but if it does, I couldn't find it. Hey, awesome. You know, that was a great software program that you created. But now I lost my train of thought. Squirrel. Anyways, let's go back to this. It wasn't important anyway. Let's just say that.
To gray, right? This doesn't have a.
Oh, now I remember. But yeah, so I start streaming at 2. Normally, when I get home, get off of work, I take a nap, right? So going back to our active recall, diffuse learning, focused learning, I take a nap because I can't learn when I'm freaking tired. And me waking up at 3 in the morning, I don't go to bed when I'm supposed to. So I come home, take a nap, get up, start streaming. Same thing on my days off. You know, Thursdays when he goes live, it's me. I learned those days by rewatching his videos. I haven't really started the Anki yet, just because I suck at just writing. I've never been a good note taker. And Anki's flashcards, and obviously you put your own notes on the flashcards, which, like I said, I'm a sucky note taker. So, yeah, so that's what I do.
Override the gold.
How do we override the gold?
All right. But we're still not out of the woods here yet because we're running into something interesting, and that's that duck. Duck is also turning gray. And I don't want that to happen. I just want unicorn to be gray, and I want Hufflepuff to be gold. So if we look, how do I differentiate between unicorn and Hufflepuff and duck? The section. Exactly. These ones are inside of a section as a grandchild.
So did I do
This
too
one is
much?
Not ever inside of a section. So we can go back to our CSS and say, all right, well, section space
Yeah.
article H2,
Yeah.
right?
So section
And when I
article
do that,
H2.
What's the weird thing that's going to happen though?
It's going to turn Huff and Puff. That's what I'm running into right now. Right? I can do a
Got
+2, but
unicorn
it's not.
gray, but Hufflepuff is back to gray. So what could I do? The cascade.
And the only
So
bad
back
thing
here,
about me not doing those is he's right, you know, the active recall of having to write those. So I'm hurting myself, but at the same time I don't know if I am. Because what I would do is use my dictation system, and if you watch me long enough streams, I use my dictation all the time.
I could get more specific.
And so I won't be
Maybe
writing
we
it
do
down.
this. Maybe we do-
I'll just be dictating it.
This Hufflepuff was,
Which is still
inside
better
of
than
a
nothing.
section, right? So maybe we just do section article H2 plus H2. Now, how many points of specificity does this rule have?
4, which will override. It won't override because it's not a cascade. It's before that one.
How many specificity does this rule have? So this has 4, right? We get 1 for the H2, 1 for the H2, 1 for the article, 1 for section. That's 4. And we get 1 for the H2, 1 for the article, 1 for section. That's 3. So anything that happens in this rule cannot be overwritten by this rule. So,
okay.
If I make my sibling H2,
I see what you're saying there. I get what you're laying down, Leon. Let's go ahead and try to fix that. Let's go ahead and throw our section, even though it seems like that body would have worked. Because it still puts me at 4, so it overrides. Should override gold without. I think it is completely overriding gold, and that's the problem. Okay. So let's go ahead and put a section up here. And let's go ahead and take out body. I don't need to have the direct over here. I can still do direct H2. Slip it. Save it. And there we go. Alright, cool. So please keep Huff and Puff Gold and make Unicorn Gray. So that's good. So this little walkthrough is done. Did get hung up a little bit, but that's alright. And that's why we're here to learn. So let's go ahead and close this file down. Remember how to close it. And we're going to go ahead and open up ourselves our relationship. Which the relationship one is going to be. I don't want to revert file. Close folder. Relationship, the long one at the end, how he did everything, I was like, I'm going to mess up something. Promise you I'm going to mess up something. No, we want specificity. Go ahead and open up our index. Open up the JS. No, JS, JavaScript. We don't want JavaScript. All right. These are the two things that are going to get me so hard. So let's go ahead and go back to our index. Open to the side. Go ahead and shut this down. Let's go ahead and open up our JS actually with our live server. And let's get into this madness. Alright, so we want, please make only Rhino and Zebra blue. Zebra blue. There's Rhino. There's Zebra. So both of them have a class of this Africa 4 legs. They also have an ID. Huff and Puff Gold. Please select Duck. Okay. So let's go ahead and do... We don't need to go in the class because ID will override that. So let's go ahead and remember how we do our ID. So this is going to be class... This... Our Octothorpe. I think I want to leave that in my vocabulary as a hashtag. But let's go ID. No, we couldn't do that, could we? Yeah, we can. But the class will select both. Let's go class. Class of... No, of Africa. Trying to think here. He said last time that if there's a space, then technically 4 legs is considered another class. So let's go Africa. And we want color. And what did he want? Blue. Save. Alright, we got that blue. Make only Huff and Puff gold. So where are we at with Huff and Puff? So we can go ID best house is, yeah. Or we could go Badger, right? So ID best house. And he wants that gold. Alright. That did not work. That messed up the house. Oh, because I didn't do an ID, I did a class. There we go. There we go. So, 2, how far along are you in? Well, heck, if you built that program yourself, you're probably already done graduated. You're probably alumni already. With the 100 devs. Alright, let's get into the long... As small as you go. Okay. So we are going to try to select duck with the highest level of specificity as possible. And then we're going to do Rhino with the highest level of specificity as possible. Alright, let's see here. Let's find duck. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's what I did too. So that's when I was going through. I started an Odin project. I got the first project done. I was getting into CSS, and I was like, "This is a lot more just regular reading instead of kind of like doing something." And a lot of dyslexic people will just tell you that I learned faster from hands-on, actually doing it. So I started out there. I jumped over to Free Code Camp. I knocked out their responsive web design, got their certification, and then I got into JavaScript. I got the certification through JavaScript, but I came out of there still feeling like I didn't know anything. Because when you get stuck, it's literally you just watch a video, and then you can follow along and get through it. So I got the certification, but I'm like, you know what? I just can't. I can't go farther into this. I can't keep going. And say, yeah, I know JavaScript. So I stopped, and I found 100 devs, and I was like, you know what? I know I'm already 4 months into my learning, but I'm going to throw it all out the window, and I am going to start over. That's what we're doing. Which these 5 classes that I've done, I've learned a lot more. Absolutely. So DuckDuckGo. Alright, so I'm more of a project-based learner too, and yeah, I thought to find direction or such thing, you get lost, stuck without a community. Exactly. Exactly. I'm not really active in the community, per se. I have posted a little bit here and there in Catch Up Crew, but I can be invert, I guess you could say, and especially because even though I use dictation, a lot of the stuff I say in dictation might be messed up, and I'm like, ah, dang it, I didn't proofread because I'm a horrible proofreader. Because if it looks like specificity, and it's specificity don't, I'm still going to send it and think it's specificity. Alright, so we got Duck. So Duck has a class of H2. No, has a class of likes to quack and fight 10R100. So if those are two separate... Alright, let's go ahead and hit class. Likes to quack. And then we can go... Do I need to space that out? I think he said something about you don't need a space. Alright. Let's just go ahead and finish this with this. Well, let's go ahead and make it... What color? He didn't say give it a color, so it just said make a list of text. Let's just make it our own color, and we'll go with green. Make it green. Save that. Alright. Duck didn't change green, even though I've... That's interesting. Let's keep going. So... So it's inside those classes, which is inside of article with another class. So let's go ahead and put that class. Our duck's dinosaurs. Alright. And that's inside of an article. Now, can I put the article since it already has a class? Kind of like why I didn't put H2. Let's not do that. Let's go ahead and say it's not inside of a section. Okay. But it is inside of a body. Say 2 classes, 3 classes, and then it is inside of a body, which is also inside of HTML. So let's go ahead and do body. So body would just be a selector. I don't know if I should space it. Just not space it. I know he said something about spaces. I just forgot what he said. and then that's inside of HTML. So I think that had to be spaced like that. So how many specificities do we have? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yet it still won't make it gold, right? I mean, make it green? That's weird. Why won't you be green for? Is it because I don't have it spaced? Bet you anything I have one of these misspelled somewhere. That's always my problem. Every single time, even during free code camp, where I messed up was always in my spelling. HTML, body, and then our ducks. There's one mistake. Dinosaurs. Yes. See if that was my only mistake. No. Likes to quack. That's right. That's right. Huh. Dude, do you see where I'm getting it wrong and the reason why my duck isn't turning green? It is saved. Let's go ahead and just be redundant. Save again. I'm going to go ahead and hit refresh. And no. I could still pick H2, couldn't I? No, I can't do that. That's okay. I have a space between those two. Yeah, I figured that's what I needed to do was space it out. That was the reason why I wasn't doing it. Yeah, see? Still not doing it, even with the space. So since those are technically the same thing, I could also do that's a direct of that class, couldn't I? Fight 100, okay. Ah. And it's a capital O too, right? Or 1 or 100. Good catch. There it is. That's it. That is it. You're right. That is capital O. So fight 1 or 100 was our mistake. Good eye, because I would not have even thought about that. Alright, so let's go ahead and make Rhino the highest level of specificity as possible. So we got Rhino right here. That's our only Rhino. So that's the highest up we got. So let's go ahead and make, it's going to be, start out with the class of Africa, four legs. Hello. Africa, four legs. Let's go ahead and make this a color of red. Alright. And then the ID of Rhino. And then that's inside of a section with a class of top. I think I have to space that. And that is in a body, which is in HTML. Let's go ahead and go body. And then HTML. Africa, four legs. So this should have overridden this, right? But it did not. HTML body. And we got an ID of top. No, we got we got a class of top. This is the section. This is the class. TOP. And then we got a ID of Rhino. And then we got a class of Africa, four legs. So we should be overriding this Africa up here, but we are not. And why is that? In theory, we would. This is definitely not his first try type of. What did I spell wrong? So Rhino. Four legs. ID of Rhino. And we got a top. Let me see something here. That is actually a direct. So I could put our carrot stick right there. Rhino.Africa legs is looking for an element with the two classes as descendants of Rhino. Okay, so ID Rhino, Africa, and four legs is looking for an element with those two classes as a descendant of Rhino. So the space is the issue. Well, that was debunked. The space right here would be the issue. I have too many spaces. Oh, okay. So this should be put together, right? So it should be Rhino Africa, no spaces. Okay, there we go, and it's obviously there. So this is what he was talking about the no spaces. So even though you just told me about it, I need to go see what the concept is about the no spaces.
I can't override it.
So, what did he say about the spaces? Specificity.
Why is it not working?
Let's code.
All right, let's get some specificity practice. This one, I love this one. This is gonna be fun.
If you see, I was like, why is... I know there's something about
so let's look at this one.
having spaces and not having spaces and what it does.
If you're new, as always, the materials are on our Discord, !Discord, right? !Discord.
Let's get all the way down.
Importance. I'm a Hufflepuff with a Gryffindor rising, and so that's why I threw gold in here. All right, let's go ahead and save this, and let's go back.
I was gonna say Slytherin is the best house, by the way. You know, no, I'm just joking.
A bit bigger.
All right.
Relationship. So now we have to do...
Oh, I might have missed it.
So we can see Hufflepuff is only gold. That worked. Nice. Next one.
Make sure my big head's not covering this video.
With the highest level of specificity. I love these so much.
Let's figure this one out together.
Select duck with the highest level of specificity possible. Throw
you know, another good thing about live streaming me going through all this too. Can't nobody say I didn't do my homework. Besides the reading part, that's the hardest part of the homework that I have.
How do we handle classes with spaces? You cannot have a class with a space. As soon as you put a space in your class, that's two classes.
Okay.
Right. And so there are none. So right here, this best house has the class of Harry Potter.
And a class of Triwizard
Champ. And it has the class of Badger. Those are 3 separate classes. Cool. All right. All right, we can stop spamming the guesses here. All right, let's take a look at these.
Yeah, I got them receipts. Exactly.
Here's Duck. All right, at the base level, Duck has how many classes?
2.
How many classes does Duck have?
2 classes.
Has 2. So let's start there. Likes to quack and fight 10 or 100. So let's go ahead and copy those 2 classes. And if I wanted to target it with the most specificity possible, I can do this. H2 likes to quack.
I didn't do the H2.
10 or 100. So notice what I did here. Notice how there is no space here. When there is no space, what you are saying is find me something that has all of them. Right? So what I'm saying here is I'm saying find me an H2 that has the class likes to quack and the class fight 10 or 100. Right? No spaces means find something that has all of these. Right? If I was to put a space here, what would that mean? If I did that, if I put a space there, what would that mean? That makes that makes it a parent-child relationship. Then we're gonna be looking for something that has the class.
And that's what you're saying too. Okay.
That's inside of an H2 that has the class likes to quack. So we can't have the space there because that's a parent-child relationship, right? Right? That's a parent-child relationship, right? Cool. So here, it's not a parent-child relationship. We're looking for the H2 that has this class and this class and is an H2, right? Let's just make this a color just so we can.
All right, cool. So I get what you're saying, everybody's. So essentially so this is looking for everything all inside of that ID, and if I switch it, it looks for a child. I'm gonna have to get that one down a little bit more. I think that one's definitely gonna have to be a active recall for me, because I am going to forget that for sure. But he did put an H2 in here. He put it right here. So, well, not right here, but it was up here. He did put the H2, so I could still put H2 in it. Okay. Exactly. You can actually cheat a bit if you hover over the selector. Here in VS Code, it shows the relationship in hover overlay. Wait, what? Holy shit. So that's what I've been like just trying to get off. Okay. Selector specificity 1, 3, and 2. So the element ID class Africa element ID of top, and then body and HTML. Huh. And not know that shit. See, I'm still learning a lot of different things too. I mean, VS Code wise. Alright. So, I'm going to leave this. Yeah, that's true. The good thing about VS Code, and like, I know Leon says, you know, don't have the live and get used to the refresh and everything, save, refresh, which, you know, it's gotten me before of the not saving and refreshing. But, it helps me out a lot, you know, just for the fact of, you know, autocomplete, my spelling, I can go object, you know, different things like that. So I really do like that. It helps me out a lot with my dyslexia. Also trying to learn the whole chaining things together, you know, like if I want a H2 with a let's see, do H2 with a paragraph, and then inside of that paragraph I want, or just do H2 with like 2 times 2 paragraphs. You know, those different little tricks. Been trying to learn all that stuff too on my off time, or when I see people do it. That stuff I think is so cool, how it does that. So okay, so I'm not going to go too far into the selector. Actually, don't think this. I think this is part of a homework. I don't really remember. I'm gonna have to look at the discard to see if it is, but I mean, I did get some selectors in there. For some odd reason, I didn't think you could make, like, if the H2 had a class or a ID, for some odd reason, I was thinking you couldn't use the H2. Element tricks. Emit tricks. Yeah. I stumbled across a few of them, like, when I was going through Free Code Camp. And it was just like, oh, dude, I need to learn that stuff. Because it makes it kind of easy. Let's see how... I don't know how far you can go with it. What was I going to do? Let's do H2 again. And then we're going to go ahead and do the paragraph. And I think it's inside the paragraphs. No. Let's do section. And inside that section, inside the section, we want inside that section we want anchors. Don't want that. Anchors, and then we're gonna go times 4. Will that work? Yeah. I didn't overlap it the way I wanted to. But yeah, we got our classes. No, that's a class of A. So the dot is a class of A. Let's go ahead and delete that. Dot is a class of A. So dot selector is a class. What is this? There we go. No. That didn't work either. Anyways, I mean, that's it's something to mess with. Hey, I want to take a quick little break real quick and go to Big Me. It's not even going to be a quick break. I need a hydration. I honestly don't know how Leon leaves it up to the crowd to give him hydration points so he can drink. Maybe he's been blowing out a whole bunch of hot air longer than I have. But I need to wet my whistle so I can keep talking. So I'll be right back. And we're back. It wasn't that long. No. That's some high quality HUO. Alright. So let's go ahead and call that one done. For now. Like I said, I guess I could go deeper into the specificity. Or have the... Well, it's specificity. So have more tags added to it. Because like I was saying, I didn't... For some odd reason, if you use the class, I didn't think you could use the actual, like, H2, the selector. But I guess you can. So obviously, we could really dive deep into it. Next thing we're going to go ahead and roll out into. This isn't saved. I don't want to save it because I was messing around. Next thing we need to go into is our layouts. And those layouts are going to be an interesting thing to do. Alright. 1, 2, 3. I do believe I did basic 2 already. Like I said, I think I did that on my own. Got these 2 done, so we got layouts. Let's just open up the first layout. And this is what we were having problems with. Essentially, when we were going through our animated Leon. Let's go ahead and just close everything out here. Don't save what I just... Well, I wanted to save what I had saved, so we'll go ahead and leave that. And what we're going to go ahead and do in... We're going to go ahead and create a new folder. Yeah. No. Save all. That's not a folder, though. Go I don't want that. New file. And inside of that file, no. Hey, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you stopping by too. Man, if you're still in here, appreciate you helping me out. Appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully you hit that follow button. If you don't, hey, it's cool. You'll see me post in our 100 devs. You'll know when I go live, so it's all good. Hey man, keep remembering, keep looking up, man, because that's where it all is. Alright, so open folder. We don't want to open up a folder. We want to create a new folder inside. Let's do this. I know what I'm messing up here. So let's go ahead and go to file. Open folder. We want our 100 devs open. We want it in 5. So we're going to go ahead and open that up. And then we're going to go ahead and just minimize all you guys. And now we want ourselves a new folder. These are all saves. New file, new file. What do we got over here? Hey, you big fat. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Dreaming on concrete. All right. Die like the old retard that I am. I'm not really exactly that old, my friend. See you later, my friend. And second person, I had to... There you are. Second person I had to ban. File. Let's go ahead and go layouts. Layout 1. Leah. Layout. And inside of this guy, we want to make a file. Let's go ahead and do, just go a page. And then we'll go ahead and do our CSS. So style. All right. There we go. Now to get HTML, let's go ahead and do our... Let's go ahead and minimize all this down. Ooh, that's the only bad thing, right? Because I kind of want to see the live browser while we make this layout. So what we'll go ahead and do is we're just going to go ahead and leave that up. And we'll just have to like quick change between them. So let's go ahead and do our normal doc type. We're going to go ahead and save that. Then we need to go ahead and link our CSS. Style sheet, and we're going to go to style. There we go. Save that. And so on this one, so we're layout 1. It looks like he has a header and a footer. And a 1, 2, so this looks 50-50. And this looks like... Ooh, but how would you do that? Would you do a section and this is all sections? Let's go ahead and figure that out. We know a header and footer. And let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. Let's do 5 sections. Header. Footer. Inside the header and footer, let's go ahead and have sections. How many we say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Let's go ahead and do it the easier way. Alright, so now we have 5 sections. Let's go ahead and save that. So we want to go ahead and do our header and footer. Space. No, a comma. Alright, so we got our header and footer. And now I gotta remember how he went ahead and did the header and footer. How did he lay this out? That's the question mark. What is this telling me? This? What's the matter with it? Let's go ahead and go back to his reference video.
Yeah.
Kind of go over it.
Let's color lime. There we go.
Go into the box model.
Let's just make sure that that's there. right? And we can see that duck is that nice green. Right? You can see that duck is that nice green. Look at it. Here we go. Got our box model. Time for some layouts. Time for some layouts.
Kind of interesting how he
You should.
somebody erased his driver erase board
Right.
on that.
So I got this bit. Good, 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 good. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I can't tell you how many times I have built out way too much, forgot that I had linked it, and I'm just like racking my brain as to why it's not working. So you're totally not alone. All of us at some point have forgotten to link our CSS. So let's go ahead and link, and then just going to call this style.css. Cool. Here we go. So our index.html and our style sheet should be linked. And let's go ahead and build out those 5 elements that we saw in the picture, right? We have a header, a footer, and 3 sections. So let's go ahead and do that. Header. And let's go ahead and do a section. And we need 3 of them. So section and section, and then a footer. Cool. There we go. We got our header, our 3 sections, and a lovely footer. Cool. Let's go ahead and save all of this. And I'm going to go over to my style sheet. And I am going to target my header first. Let's go ahead and target our header. And I'm just going to give it a height of 100 pixels. And I'm going to give it a border.
So you did height.
They're going to be thick.
Okay.
3 pixels solid black. Right? Let's save it. And if we open this correctly, right? Like if we open it, right? What we expect to see is at least a header. There we go. We got a header. It's blurry. Give it a refresh or change your quality setting. Cool. Boom. We got a header showing up. Cool. All right. Header showing up. And then if we go ahead and let's do our footer. Let's do our footer. Footer. We do a height, 100 pixels again, and border. This doesn't feel good. Why doesn't this feel good?
That's how I did the border.
Not feel good to me.
So I went ahead and did border, and then I didn't do anything else. I just did border color. So what he did was border, then he went ahead and did 3 pixels. Solid. And then he went the color. And close it off. So that should come over here. We can close this guy. There we go. Alright. So now we want our sections. But on this section, he had 3. He has 5 sections in here. These 2 sections are completely different than these 3 sections. Is that what he did? Did he use 3 sections? Let's see.
Those 5 elements that we saw in the picture, right? We have a header, a footer, and 3 sections. So let's go ahead and do that.
3 sections. Okay. So we got the header, the footer, and now we need to do our 3 sections, but we also need to get 2 of the sections. And let's go ahead and do an ID. No, let's do a class of A. Why not? All right. So class of A. We're using our class. So we're going to do another class of A. We're going to go ahead and save that. And then what we want is we have a section. And we're going to go ahead and do inside of that section a height of 33,333, right? So of the 33.3333%. And we still want, see, a border. And we want it 3 pixels. And we want it solid. And we still want to keep it green. Alright. Go ahead and save that. That is not the way it's supposed to look. But we'll figure it out from here. And then let's go ahead and do a ID of A. And then we still want the height. And we want that 50%. Alright? And we still want border. Three pixels. Solid. And we want green again. Save. And let's see how he did that, right?
And let's go ahead and do a section. And we need 3 of them. So section and section and then a footer. Cool. There we go. We got our header, our 3 sections, and a lovely footer. Cool. Let's go ahead and save all of this.
I think he did a clear.
And I'm going to go over to my style sheet. And I am going to target my header first. Let's go ahead and target our header. And I'm just going to give it a height of 100 pixels. And I'm going to give it a border just so we can see them. They're going to be thick. 3 pixels, solid, black. Right? Let's save it. And if we open this correctly, right? Like if we open it, right? What we expect to see is at least a header. There we go.
So we got the header.
It's blurry. Give it a refresh or change your quality setting. Cool. Boom. We got a header showing up. Cool. All right. Header showing up. And then if we go ahead and let's do our footer. Let's do our footer.
He didn't like the way he did his footer, so that's why he did it up here.
We do a height.
We cleared both.
100 pixels again. And border. This doesn't feel good. Why doesn't this feel good? Why does this not feel good to me?
Float. Left.
Not dry. It's wet. Exactly. It's wet. I've repeated myself.
And then a float left again.
Repeat yourself. And so this is not very dry. This is exactly the same code. So we can just go up here and do.
Why is that solid like that?
Footer. When you use the comma, what it means is it says apply these declarations to both the header and the footer. Wet stands for write everything twice. I like it.
Write everything twice.
So we can do
All
that,
right.
and then yoink, get rid of 4 lines of code. Now, right now that was just 4 lines of code, but eventually, we are going to have thousands of lines of code. And so if we can save code here and there, it does add up in meaningful ways. Okay. All right. Next, we got to think about those sections. Right? So these sections are going to sit next to each other.
So how did you do these sections to make them look right? Because my sections do not look right.
3 of them are going to be sitting
whatsoever.
next to each other. And so we know that we said, all right, if they're going to be sitting next to each other, we'll make them 33% width, and we will float to sit them next to each other. So let's go ahead and do our.
We got 33% width.
We're gonna have some issues that come up here. So if we go ahead and do, let's go ahead and give them a height. Give them a height of like 300 pixels.
That's where I messed up.
We said 33, and then
that's what I messed up on right there.
Decimal
So this should be the height, and then okay, let's do that. So he just did 300. And then I need the width, but we didn't do a width up there. Wonder why. Width of 33.3333%. Save. And this is a height. Keep it the same. 300. Then a width of 50. Should say auto, wouldn't it? Wonder what the auto max and all that would actually do to it. But we're going to go ahead and do 50% on that. Save that, see what we got. Okay, so everything worked. These 3 are where they need to be. But we got to add. Well, these 3 aren't where they need to be. I need to bring this up here. Then I need to bring these 2, which are kind of messed up, down to 1, 2, right? I need these 2. And if this is 100, half of 100 is obviously that. He did come up here. And he selected the whole page. And then he said, order. No, he said box. Box sizing. And border box. Okay, so that got our got our 3 boxes where they needed to be, but we're still missing our 2 boxes that should be half and half. So let's go ahead and knock this up to 500. I don't think that should matter. 300, save that. Alright, what changes did it do when I did 500? Didn't really make any change, right? If this was 50-50, and that should have but it's not giving me a solid, like a box, right? So how do you think he did that? Should be 50-50. But we're not seeing our boxes down here like it's supposed to. Because we should have these two boxes. Unless... and I have it separated, right? Because I put an ID on these two sections, so it should split, make these differentiate, different than these two sections down here. Because these are obviously bigger than 33.333%. Now, I can go 100 divided by 5, but that's not going to work. Alright? Brings it out to 20. I don't even know why I didn't even need to do that. So, if I took out the class, I still don't think that would work. Let's go ahead and comment that out. Save it and see what it does. Alright, so it makes everything here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to make these two 50-50. How would we do that? Let's see. Let's see something. Uncomment that. Let's do the 33. This wouldn't work, but 33.333% and brings that up. But it does show that they are separate boxes. Is it because we got the height, the width? Padding bottom. Do 50. That's could be our problem. Let's do 100. Let's do 150. Do 200. That looks more like that, even though this looks more like a 300. So let's go ahead and pop that up to 300, right? That looks close enough for government work to me. What do y'all think? So it was the padding that we needed to do. It only took me a little while to get to that conclusion. Only took me a little while to get to that conclusion. Okay, cool. So that is done. So layout 1 complete. Let's go ahead and do our layout 2. Two. Now we can do space and say yep. And then inside of that layout 2. Oh, we did that on the inside of layout 1. We didn't want that. Don't want that either. Hey, 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 hey. Let's delete that. Trash it. Close all that. Alright. Deselect. Now we want layout 2. Alright. Inside of layout 2, we need ourselves a HTML. So we're just going to go ahead and call this layout 2 also. I can't have space. 2.html. And we're going to say yes. And then we want another one. And we want to make this style style.css. Alright, so we got that. Go ahead and bring this down. We're going to go ahead and do our doc type. There we go. We want to go ahead and link this to... Ooh. I wonder if that will mess up. Since I have so many different style.css, would it actually mess up? And I'm over here like, I've been doing that the whole time and like big faced. And see, this is the reason why I have to edit videos. FYI, if I'm ever big faced and I'm sitting here talking, let me know. You know, hashtag noob mistakes. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. You can go ahead and close this file. We want number 2 to be pulled open. So a header, footer, and then we have 100. We got 1, 2, 3 sections. We got one section that's 100. We got one section that looks like it's maybe a 60-40 split. Something like that. I know it's not 50-50. Alright. Let's go ahead and... How many sections did we say? 3 sections. So... we got ourselves a header. And then we got ourselves a footer. And then in between those, we got 3 sections. 3 sections. Alright. Now, one of these sections two of these sections. One of these sections needs to have a one of these sections needs to have a class. Or all 3 of them need to have a class, actually. Because technically they're all different. I think 2 of them could be the same. So let's go ahead and do 2 of them with a class and 1 of them just regular section. We'll figure that out. Let's go ahead and do another class of A. Class of alpha. And then the other 2 we're going to go ahead and leave alone. We're going to go ahead and save that. Jump over here. So what did we do first? We went ahead and did a browser selector. And we went ahead and went border. No, box sizing. That's what we did. We did box sizing. And then border box. We went ahead and kept that. And then underneath that, we went ahead and did our header. And we went ahead and did our footer. And what did we do on that? We gave it a height. Have my lock on. You gave it a height of 300 pixels. And we went ahead and gave it a border. And we did 3 EX. We did solid. Well, let's keep with our favorite color green over here. And we're going to go ahead and save that. Let's go ahead and open this with our live. Live server. Okay, so there's our header footer, right? So we got that good. Let's go ahead and drop this down to let's go ahead and do our ID class first of A. Because that one was just 100. So we need a height. Let's keep the height of 300. We need a width of 100. Or technically, I wonder if we could just do auto, but do 100%. We need a border. Let's go ahead and keep it with our 3 solid. And our green. Go ahead and save, see what we got. Okay, so that's going to be that center one right there. And we want to float. I don't know if we need to float that one. Do we need to float that one? Let's float it. Actually, let's see if we don't need to float it. Alright, so now we're going to do our regular sections. And we're still going to do the height. Of 300. We're going to do... Now, here's the tricky part, right? So, we need one of them to be like 60, and the other one to be 40. So, let's go ahead and do this. Let's do section, because if I do 40, they both would be 40, 40, right? Let's go ahead and do width. Let's go ahead and do 40%. And then, of course, we're going to do our border. Keep it 3, PX, solid, and green. Alright. See what we got. Now, see, this is 40. Let's go ahead and do this one. We need to go ahead and float it to the left. And we got something going on here. We don't have a clear up here. Clear both. Okay. So we're still missing this right here, right? So could we go padding right and stretch this out? Because it's technically, but see that I think it's if I do padding right, it's not going to work. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and jump back over here. Let's give this one a class of B. We're going to go ahead and save that. And essentially, come down here. We're going to go ahead and pick our class of B. We're going to go ahead and do the height. We're going to go ahead and stick with our 300. And then we're going to do our width of 60. %. Then let's go ahead and keep our border what we have. Three pixels, solid, and green. And then we need to go ahead and float that left. So that is not what I wanted, because this needs to be to the right. Simple fix, maybe? There we go. Simple fix. So that looks about right. I mean, we got header, footer. We have one section that's completely the whole page. Then we got, like I said, a 40-60 split, right? Header, footer, whole page, 40-60 split. The only thing is, let's see. That looks, I mean, it looks about right. Let's go ahead and bring our footer and header down, though. Bring it down one more. Alright, that looks a lot better. Alright, skinny, fat, skinny. Kinda, sorta. Cool. So on this one, what we needed to do was obviously make the sections different classes in order to kind of differentiate. One of those words that I can just never get right. Between sections, so we gave them classes. Cool. Now what we need to do is go to our layout 2. Or 3, I'm sorry, we just got done doing layout 2. So this one looks interesting, alright? So we could say header, footer. All these classes are the same, besides this one. Classes, I mean sections. So somehow, we need to make sure this one stays. So section is, I have a feeling this one's just gonna go. Let's just give it a shot. Alright, redundant save. So we can have our homework. Let's go ahead and close out of this. Alright. Go ahead and do another file. Do not want to do it inside of that. File, layout number 3. And I say yes. And then we want a new HTML, so we're going to go ahead and layout 3. Nope, we got to go layout 3.html. And then we want another guy that is going to be our style. Our CSS. Alright, there we go. We can go ahead and close this down. Start in our HTML and do our doc type. We want to go ahead and link our CSS. So we want style, yes. Go ahead and save that. Alright, let's look at this guy. So we got header, footer, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 sections. So let's go ahead and knock out our header. And then we're going to go ahead and set 4 sections. Save that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and once again, we're going to go ahead and start from the top. We're going to go ahead and do our selector over here of the whole browser. I don't want to go home. I want to go to end. And we want to go box sizing. We want border box. Now we want to do our header and footer. That didn't look right, did it? Inside of our header and footer, let's go ahead and do another height. Let's do another 100 pixels. Border. Keep it with our 3 pixels. Solid. And keep it green. So we want to go ahead and clear both. Keep that. Alright, so how are we going to do this? We need if we divide that by 3, still going to be the 33,333. Right? We want to keep everything in line. But let's do a How should we do that? So I think we only need to make one class. Do that as one class. How do we make sure it gets in that one spot that we needed to get into? So let's play around with it. Let's go ahead and make our class. Let's do the third one a class. Or the second one a class. And we'll stick with their class of alpha. Save that. Let's go ahead and get our section. Alright, so we want to do ahead and do a height. Let's just do the height of 300. What does that look like? Looks like a 300 work. Alright, and then we need to do our width. Let's do the 33,333, right? It's not going to work though, because we're going to be putting something in it that's obviously let's do a width of what do you think we should do? Let's try it. Let's 33 3333 border 3 pixels solid green. Go ahead and float that left. Save. Go ahead and open this one out. Alright. Float left, solid. Clear both. We still have another section here. So let's go ahead and do our class ID of alpha. And we're going to go ahead and still stick with our same height. Of 300. Now this is where we're going to run into some issues, because we need to make that bigger. You know what? I think I might have an idea. Let's make this 30%. So, and make this one 70%. It might work. With 70. Alright, so let's go ahead and go through our motions. So border. 3 pixels. Solid. And green. And we need to go also float this one to the left. dead space underneath there. I'm trying to make it look like a picture, the picture, as best as I can. I think that kind of went overboard. Let's go ahead and bring this height to 300. $200. Yeah, that looks right. I mean, that's close enough for government work if I do say so myself. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and save. Awesome. Awesome. So this was class 3's or class 5's homework that we just got done doing over here. And that was kind of fun. It was interesting. Kind of gives you a little bit more of an idea of what we were doing in class. We went ahead and add the sections and everything. So now we're going to be going to class 6 next up. Probably going to be on Wednesday when we're going to go ahead and go over class 6. I still got to watch the video of class 6. Go over all that information. What's in the news, Robin? Still got to go through all that information. Sorry that I did not, or I had big me for a little while. I think it was on the first layout. But at least you had it good for the layout number 2 and layout number 3. So I am going to be editing this video a little bit. But like I said before, I'm going to go ahead and stop trying to edit videos as much because I'm editing videos on my weekends, which I'm trying to spend that time with my family. And I don't really want to be, I guess, editing videos as much because I want to do this as a learning basis and still have the weekends off for my family. If you're stopping by here during the live stream, I just wanted to say thank you. If you guys are watching this video on YouTube, I wanted to say thank you. But we are done for the night. I appreciate it. Don't forget to leave any comments if you're here on YouTube. Let me know what you think. Anything I can do different. Any tips and tricks that you might have. And of course, if you're going through the 100 devs, let me know where you're at. Catch-up crew like I am. Alumni. Anyways, remember, keep looking up because that's where it all is. See you later, everybody. Have a good night.